Hi. I've been asked some questions recently about how to set up Google Analytics on a pre-existing WordPress site by some prospective clients, but also just some friends that have some small businesses and older sites and are looking for ways to kind of get up to speed and maybe looking at making a new site, but want to figure out what's happening on their current old site. So this is actually a really easy task. And I thought I could just show you guys real quick how to do this, and you could do it for yourselves. If you need help, obviously, I own a company. We are called Single Focus Web, singlefocusweb.com. And we primarily focus on nonprofit websites, but we are also currently putting together some packages for small and medium-sized local businesses. Doesn't have to be local to Tucson, local anywhere, that may need help right now getting online or taking their business online, really. So let me know if you need help. But for now, this is a good thing you can do. And really, anytime that you can set up Google Analytics, if you haven't already, is a good time, because this is how you're going to find out what next steps are appropriate to take. Okay, so let's talk about how to get you set up. So the first thing you're going to need is any Google account. So this could be a Gmail account, whatever, doesn't matter. If you already have Google Analytics set up, this is what it's going to look like. Probably you don't, since you're here. In that case, you're going to go to analytics.google.com, and there's a button that says like start tracking or start measuring or something like that. And that's going to get you to this same place that I'm about to go, which, by the way, if you do already have a Google Analytics account or property set up, and you want to set up another one, here's how you're going to do it. You're going to go to admin, and then right here, you're going to go to create an account. So if you don't have any of those, again, go to analytics.google.com, press the blue button that says like start measuring or something like that, and you're going to get to a page that looks pretty much just like this. So the first thing they're going to ask us for is our account name. I think of this just as the company name usually. So in this fake example, let's say we're going to be working on, we're working on a Jewish Community Center site. So let's use that as an example in Tucson. So I'm going to call it the Tucson. They actually already have a Google Analytics account. So this is just pretend, but hang with me here. Okay, so I'm just going to call it Tucson JCC. You can leave all these marked, or go ahead and not mark them if you want, but this is mostly what we want. Okay, next. Okay. What do we want to measure? So if you're watching this video, I'm assuming that we're just talking about a WordPress website, in which case you're just going to have the web. If you also have an app or something like that you're trying to measure, great, you can do this. Or if you know there is an app already set up, this is a good thing to do. You might need another video for that, though. For this, we're just going to talk about your WordPress website. So leave it on web, go to next. Okay, so the website name, I'm going to call it Tucson JCC website. The idea here, too, is we could have other properties. So we could have, for instance, another one that was like microsite for yearly event for the GCC or something like that if we had another site for it, okay? Then we're going to put in the actual URL. So I'm going to say gcc.org. I want this to be fake, so I'm actually going to change it to just a fake thing. No worries. It doesn't matter to anybody else. Okay, so then category. This doesn't really matter. As I said, we have primarily in the past worked with nonprofits, and there is no nonprofit category in this one. We're in a lot of others of these. I don't know why. But just choose whatever's close enough to you. There also isn't like a community center or anything like that. So I think I'm going to choose people and society. Okay, reporting time change. Pick your time zone, and then click create. And now you're going to read these terms of service. I'm not, because I already have, but you should. They're going to tell you all the stuff they're going to do to you, right? And I accept. Okay, success. We've set up an account. So now you're going to see this. Great. And the first thing they're going to show you right here is your tracking ID, and then they give you even some code that you could put in if you were so inclined. We're not going to have to do this because we're going to go an even easier route, and we're just going to install a plugin real quick that's going to do this for us and then link it to our Google Analytics account. So again, with our WordPress site, we're going to just skip right ahead of all this. But it's good to know that this is there. In the olden days, this is how you would have done it. While we're here, though, before I go real quick, just to show you around a little bit. Here, you're going to click the home button to go home. And this is kind of what your dashboard is going to look like. A really useful thing when you're getting started is this little insights button over here. It's going to tell you just some basics, and it's going to get you used to reading Google Analytics, okay? It's a hard thing to get used to, but if you're into it, it's pretty cool. So that's a good place to start. Let's head to the WordPress side now. So I'm going to pretend that this is the site that you're working on. Okay, and in this case, this is actually a site, it's a development site, again, for that Jewish Community Center in Tucson that we are going to be working on. It is not at all set up, but it is a site that I have right now that is not connected to any analytics account. So I figured, let's test it with this one. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, so we're logged into our WordPress site and we're in our backend and we're going to go to plugins, add new. So that's where I am, add plugins right now. Okay, so plugins, add new. And then this is kind of all the plugins that are in the WordPress directory. And so we're going to search for one. There are a bunch of Google Analytics plugins, and plenty of them are pretty good. As you can see, there's like a whole rating system. You can read about any plugin. So I'm just going to go ahead and I know which one I use, but let's see what shows up as top. It kind of tries to rank them too as far as what's popular. The one I like or have been using, honestly, I like a lot of them. This is a pretty good one, actually. Let's use this one. Actually, I'm going to use this one because it has a cool little dashboard plugin too. Okay, so I'm going to use, so this one's called Analytify. And by the way, if you wanted to think about that a little more, you can look at the details of any of these before installing them, by clicking on the little more details. You can hear what other people have to say about it, frequently asked questions, screenshots, reviews are very handy. Okay, so it's a good way to decide between them, but we're just going to do it. Okay, so I'm going to click install now. So when we add a plugin, which is really easy if you haven't done this before, this is one of the really cool things about WordPress is that you can at any point add additional functionality really easily with plugins. So it's really cool. Okay, so we've installed it. Now we're going to activate it. And as soon as we do, it's going to give us this little notice, connect Analytify with your Google account, right? Perfect. I'm going to click on that. Okay, so now we're saying if I opt in, do I want to? Yes, I do. I want to give them some information. So I'm going to allow and continue. Okay, Google authentication. I'm going to first log in with my Google Analytics account. I have a whole bunch of accounts, so we're just looking for the one that we just did that. We just set up the Google Analytics with. It's this one. Okay, yes, I do want to allow this. Yay. Okay, do I want to install the Google Analytics tracking code? Yes, I do. Exclude users from tracking. Okay, so this means when I'm logged into my own WordPress website as an administrator, do I want to see that in my Google Analytics tracking? No, not really. It's me. It's not a real user. So I am going to leave that as excluding administrators. Profile for posts. Okay, I'm going to choose that one I just made, which I forgot. It's this one, I think. Okay. And by the way, if you only have the one, you're only going to see one there. So it's going to be really easy for you. And then this one too, and then choose that same one. Okay. And then do I want to hide the profiles list? Okay, so this is a great question for me because it really kind of applies to me. It's saying if you have a Google Analytics account, if you have a Google account that has many Google Analytics accounts underneath it, do you want to be able to choose from those from now on? And this is handy for me because I do have a Google account with many Google Analytics accounts tied to it. And I'm going to eventually turn the site over to a client. And so I don't want them to ever be able to change that and see anything other than their own data because it wouldn't be good for them. And obviously nobody else wants them to see their data. So I would select, yes, hide that. But if it's just your own website, you only have that one account, it's really no big deal. Okay, so save changes. Yay! Okay, so now I want one more thing, which is I want to be able to easily see my Google Analytics, like some basics of it without having to log into that Google Analytics account. So I'm going to go to my dashboard real quick. I'm going to scroll down until I see this. Okay, so this Analytify, I know that it has another little plugin. This is actually why I chose this one, because I know it has another little dashboard add-on thing. And this is just a quickie thing that it gives me so I'm able to install this second plugin real quickly. It's just going to give me a little graph thing on my dashboard that makes it real easy to see what's going on the site at any moment. Okay, and then once I've installed it, I'm going to activate it. All right, and this is a brand new one I've set up, so it has 0 statistics. So this is really anticlimactic. But you get the idea from now on. And by the way, if you don't know this, your dashboard is just for you. So you can move things all around on your dashboard and make it handy for you. You don't need all this junk that you're seeing necessarily. But Google Analytics are a really good thing to keep your eye on and be aware, especially, and by the way, you can change this just from here too to be a bunch of different things like social media, top refers, all sorts of things you might be interested in. And as time goes on, you'll see all sorts of cool stats here. However, if you want the most information, you always want to go back to Google Analytics and log into that account and see it from your home. Okay? Okay, that's it. Again, if you need help with this or are just really looking to see what your options are as far as getting online, either if you're a nonprofit, which we have worked with nonprofits for 5 years and we love doing nonprofit websites and are great at getting you donations. But also if you're a small or medium-sized business, local, not necessarily local in Tucson, local anywhere, we are putting together some packages right now to help you get whatever you need to be online to be most successful right now done. So if you're interested in that, please look at our website at singlefocusweb.com. And have a great day.